All right, so here to talk more about this ongoing trial is criminal defense attorney Rachel Fiset. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
This is unreal to watch just as a layperson. I mean, we've seen the suspect argue with the judge, repeatedly ask witnesses questions that the judge told him he could not ask. Have you ever seen anything like this?
He's clearly not equipped to be representing himself, and he has signed a waiver. The judge has made him sign a waiver to say that he wants to be representing himself, but he is doing himself no favors, as most people definitely cause more harm than good when they go to trial on behalf of themselves. And so he doesn't know what he's doing. I don't think he's in a fully clear mental state. And the judge is very obviously frustrated because he is stalling the process and really interrupting what needs to be done in this incredibly serious matter.
I mean, is there anything that Brooks could do to disqualify himself, or at what point does this actually cross a line?
I think the judge may begin to hold him in contempt, and once he's held in contempt, I believe that they would have to have a hearing on what would be done next. If they would mandate that he find a lawyer, they would definitely need to break the jury. But at the same time, the judge is trying so hard to avoid not delaying the justice process to see this case through. So she really is frustrated, and probably for a multitude of reasons, in that he's putting her in this position where she probably doesn't know exactly where to go next.
I mean, her patience is to be commended, but you can absolutely see that frustration playing out in the courtroom. So far, Brooks pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease. Do you think that he could be acquitted here?
No, it's unlikely he will be acquitted. He's definitely not, he doesn't know how to present that very difficult case. He's presenting a case like he doesn't know what he's doing. So yes, you would think that he's not mentally fully clear on what's going on. But I think at some point, the judge may seek, or the prosecution may move to have an attorney appointed for him so that they can clean up the process and finish the case.
And Rachel, one more question. If it is mandated that he does need to have an attorney appointed to him, do they start again with a brand new jury? I mean, isn't the damage already done? Hasn't the jury already seen too much?
I think they would have to make that determination as they go. So they would have to say what prejudice he's done to himself and what would happen as they go. This is fairly unprecedented in that they're this far down the line and they're still having so many problems, and he's not going to be able to put on a case to defend himself.
All right, Rachel Fiset, thank you so much for your expertise and time.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.